What's up, guys? Casey here from Casey is Crow Creates. Got a video for you today of installing a baby gate at the top of a stairs when you only have one wall to actually attach it to. You can see behind me the wrought iron banister that we have, and then a wall directly to the left of it, drywall. And so adding a baby gate at the top of the stairs here was a little tricky just based on stuff that's commonly available. Most of it's meant to attach between two drywall walls. So I wanted to make a YouTube video showing what my solution was and products I used. Hope it helps you guys out, and hope you enjoy. So the actual product of the gate that you guys see me installing here, it's made by Regalo, and it's called a 2-in-1 extra wide stairway and hallway gate. Ordered this on Amazon, not on Prime Day, but got this. The issues we had with this, so I had mentioned before, we have a banister on one side, we got drywall on the other, and then how to attach into the steel banister itself. So I plan on drilling and tapping the brackets into it. There's several other ways you can do this that aren't, it's not that drilling and tapping is difficult or complex, it's just a step that some people might not have access to those tools. So if you're looking for a similar solution, but you don't want to drill and tap like you see later in the video, just shoot a comment down below, let me know, and I can provide some insight on how I would fix it otherwise. You guys see me here making some layout lines for where the two brackets on the wall need to go. So using a level here to make sure the brackets are vertical. Had a template that gives me the hole-to-hole distance on these, so I'd already I eyeballed what I thought was vertical, put them on the wall, made some holes, and then using the level here to confirm what is vertical. You can see trying to, this is a 4.5, or it's probably a 4-foot level. You can see me trying to balance it. So I got to hold it with one hand over here, try and hold it up with a shoulder and a bicep. Then I can use it to transfer to project what would be a line across to the wall. So that's what you're watching here. And note where I have just drawn those top marks. I originally set this gate up thinking that the best way to determine the height would be what is friendly enough to access, to open it from the top, out of like waist level height. So that's where I'm putting these brackets in at, and I don't want to foreshadow too heavily, but let's just assume that that might not be the right answer. More to come on that. Now you guys will see me tap in some drywall plugs into the drywall before I put the brackets on. Jokingly refer to this massive hammer I'm using here as Grandma's old framing hammer. Little 10-ounce hammer that she always had in her junk drawer when I was a kid. She passed away a few years ago, and something that I kept and keep in our kitchen junk drawer now, and love reminding me of her whenever I get to use it. It's not often I'm swinging a 10-ounce hammer for anything, so it's a little sentimentality there too. And I told you guys more to come on the height of this gate, so you can see it's pretty well waist level and be nice to access, but what I wasn't contemplating was the dimension underneath the gate, so you see where that's pointing to. So talked to my wife about it, and we decided that was too tall. Mads could get underneath there, so what you see me doing now is taking a multi-tool, little oscillating cutoff tool, and cutting out the trim that was down on the base trim, so we can lower it another probably 4 or 5 inches. So that way the gate can do its job and prevent Mads from crawling down the stairs, because at that height I'm pretty sure she could have limboed or shimmied underneath it. We don't need that. So, ironically enough, up until I had to drop this gate down, I got it installed, and I was like, man, this is going really easy. Like, this is my 5th or 6th YouTube video now. Like, man, am I even going to have enough footage to make a video out of this? Well, I'm glad I was thinking so highly of myself, because I get humbled pretty frequently when that happens, and we've got another, 6 minutes of video for you guys to watch, so we can actually get this gate installed. So if you do it right the first time and plan accordingly, and after you've watched this video, you probably should. But it's probably not more than a 20-30 minute install process for this. If you get it done right the first time, if you want to do it twice like me so you can get some practice. I think overall this happened over a couple days, just through some various issues, but totally in it, probably not more than an hour installing it, which I don't know that my productivity and male side of me would like to admit that this took that long, but it was not a hard or difficult install. Just kind of nuanced, and you can see here I'm drilling the holes for the future 1024 taps that I'm going to run through here to be able to screw into. Talked about my grandma's framing hammer. Well, this is my grandpa's tap and die set. So my grandpa was a journeyman glazer for a lot of his life. He had always worked with his hands. That's where I've picked up all my skills from, was learning from him as a kid. So he passed away 2 years ago. But anytime I get to use his tap and die set, anytime I get to use any of his tools, it's special. But specifically the tap and die set, it's something that I don't usually use. So when I break it out, it sits on a shelf and gets the dust blown off of it and gets broken out every now and then, but when I do, it is special to use. And also I feel pretty cool, I feel like a machinist when I use a tap and die, because like I said, not usually required of that in the stuff I'm doing. So you guys here see a little issue with the T-handle driver for the tap, was that it didn't clear the floor, so I switched that out for a shorter handle, single kind of offset drive for the tap. Made it a little easier, a little harder to get started, just to get it right, but didn't complicate anything too bad. Got it running right, and you can see now it's threading in nice and easy, just like we want it to. Note on these, if I was drilling or if I was tapping anything thicker, I would probably use cutting oil, and I'd go about 4 turns and then back it off, and then 4 and then back it off. This is pretty thin wall steel, and so it wasn't anything I felt that was super critical. And those cut pretty easy as well. We're going to be wrapping this one up shortly, so before I get out of here, I want to say thank you guys for following along. Hope it was enjoyable. Hope we learned something and entertained you. Maddie, you know I love you like crazy, and Jen, I couldn't do this without you. You're an incredible mother.